know, they say, I hate to say I told you so. Not me. I love to say I told you so.
Hi, how are you? Here we go. I'm a trans guy.
And yet, like I said, I told you so, because here we are in 2024. For the past 2 days, I've been covering the trial of a man who identifies as a woman, who also identifies as a cat. I don't know if it's a male or a female cat. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Windsor, Ontario. And folks, I'm just outside the courtroom that was hearing the curious case of Cody Detremont. That is a biological male who identified as a female and then identified as a cat, if you can imagine. And his case goes back to March of 2023 when he allegedly sexually assaulted a woman at a shelter. I will be addressing that in a separate report. For this report, well, it's kind of a victory lap for yours truly. You know, they say, I hate to say I told you so. Not me. I love to say I told you so. And what I'm getting at, folks, is way back in 2018, I did a caper along with cameraman Efren Monsanto. We went to the International Centre in Toronto, and we entered myself, yours truly, at the Canadian Cat Show. I think it was called the Pet Expo. In any regard, this was where you would see beautiful Persian cats and whatnot being put on display, and judges would judge them. And I thought, going back to 2018, transgenderism was becoming passé. And I was curious, is the next step transspeciesism? Well, let me not babble on anymore. We're going to premiere a lot of that video we shot, because you see, it never aired. Yes, last year we threw some of the footage into a monologue I did when I was guest hosting for Ezra Levant. But here, let's go back in the Wayback Machine and check out what I was reporting on in 2018, something that never aired until now.
No! For the record, this is an example of the lack of accommodation of trans species. We could not get my cage in through the front door, so we're walking all the way around. It's like 1.5 kilometers to the loading dock. You know, like I'm, a bunch of rubbish to be disposed of or something. We're going in through the tradesman's entrance. Anyways, we will comply, because I want that blue ribbon. Well, we've been locked out of 2, or was it 3 entrances, but you know what they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. We found another way. Which table do we have? Hi, how are you? Here we go. I'm a trans guy.
So there you go, folks. Basically, the story was killed because, well, it was outrageous. I mean, it was too Mad Magazine. It was too Babylon Bee. It was not a Rebel News story. And yet, like I said, I told you so, because here we are in 2024. And for the past 2 days, I've been covering the trial of a man who identifies as a woman, who also identifies as a cat. I don't know if it's a male or a female cat. I haven't got into that minutia of the matter. But in any event, where does this madness go from here? And, you know, I asked the question, who do you have more contempt for? A biological male posing as a biological female and a cat getting into a female shelter and then allegedly carrying out a sexual assault? Or do you blame the gatekeepers? Do you blame those in charge who really ought to know better, put their foot down, and stamp out this ludicrous trans madness. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, are you sick and tired of transanity? You know, that cross-section where transgenderism meets insanity? Well, if so, please go to our website, transmadness.com. That's transmadness.com. Sign the petition, and if you're able to, kindly make a donation.